What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about 9 mega cap stocks in this video. But before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up 0.95% and going all the way up to almost 443, not quite touching 20-day moving average right here, this white line, and then coming down and now closing above, especially this trend line and above 5-day and 13-day moving average right here. So now we have support at 431 and just below that trend line right here and also 5-day moving average right here sitting between 426 to 427, and this is gonna be a strong support to watch on Monday if there is a pullback on Nvidia. Now Nvidia gets that bounce from 431 and also breaks above 443 and then takes out 50-day moving average right here around 450, the next stop all the way up to 460. So Nvidia, guys, this could be a big money maker next week. If the support can hold, I would say 431. If not, 426 to 427. That could be a dip buy for a day trade on Nvidia. And also, Nvidia stock breaks under this level, then you're going to see a flush down to 420 and then 400 and possibly this gap down here 395. To the upside, on a bull case, Nvidia breaks above 443. You're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 450 and above all these moving averages right here. You're going to see Nvidia trading at 460. So Nvidia could be a big mover next week, especially now that government shutdown is canceled, and we could see a face ripper going into next week, and especially that could happen Monday, guys. So watch out here on Nvidia stock. On AMD, we got a flat day on Friday. AMD rallying all the way up to almost 105 and hitting this trend line right here, resistant trend line right here on top, and then it came down and now closing right below 20-day moving average right here, 103. So next week, guys, you want to watch AMD to get above 103 and then possibly at some point a breakout above 105, this trend line right here. If that happens, the next stop 107, 110, and maybe even up to 112.53 on AMD. Now look at this, guys. Lots of volume on AMD traded right here. I would say between 107.57 up to 115. Now at some point end of this year, AMD can clear 115.49. You're going to see a monstrous rally here on AMD if this thing can actually clear 115.49. To the downside also, you want to watch this support down here around 96 to 95, and if that gives up, you can see this is a big volume gap right here. This thing can drop, and the next volume gap, where actually the big volume was traded here on AMD, was down here. So that's going to be a big support right here at $89. But I think bottom could be in right here on AMD, and this thing could be breaking out now above 105. That's a breakout. You're going to see more upside, 107 at least next week, and possibly even higher up to 110. So Netflix finally up, green on the day, but nothing big, only 0.33%, and again hitting the support 376 and then going back up, and now at the closing sitting at 377.60. So Netflix needs to break, I would say right now 379, and only if that happens you're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 388, and possibly at some point bottom could be in right here on Netflix. So far, I mean, how many days? 1, 2, 3, and Friday was the 4th day. Netflix holding this support 376. So now I think going into next week, especially Monday, This one, we could see a rally on Netflix all the way up to 388 and possibly even higher to 400. Now remember this, guys. Yes, it's selling off from where? 450 down to 376 in just a matter of 2 weeks. Also, this thing can go up in really quick time. So if you're buying and the support is holding 376, in no time you're going to see Netflix at least up to 400. So lots of money to be made as long as the support holds right here 376. You can put a stop, I would say, right here 370.67 if you're buying at 376, especially shares. And if this thing does not take out this low, you're going to see a rally all the way up to 400 plus on Netflix, and this could be the bottom that we got here on the stock. But the moment Netflix takes out 376, also takes out this low 371 right here, you're going to see a dump off all the way down to 350 and then the gap below 341.38. On Apple stock, slightly up, green on the day, Friday, 0.30%, and Apple going up to where? 173. And as you can see on my screen, multiple times Apple stock coming down to 173 before and holding that as a support. And now you can see on Friday getting up to 173, getting rejected, coming down, holding 170 as a support, and now just slightly up, green on the day, Friday. So Apple, guys, I think Apple could be a big mover next week only if Apple stock can break 173. If that breaks right here on Apple 173, Apple can hold 173 as a support. You're going to see a quick trip, and it's not going to take that much time, all the way up to 177 to retest 20-day moving average right here, sitting exactly at 177. As a support, you want to watch this big support right here, 170. And if somehow Apple breaks below 170, then watch out for this gap, which is not fully closed right here, 167.04. On Microsoft, it's up 0.67%, and look at this insane move here. And that was more of a short squeeze all the way up to 319.47. We saw Microsoft coming down to 315 and holding right there, right at the support around 316. We also now have support at 314.37, 5-day moving average right here, this blue line. So on Microsoft, going into next week on Monday, you want to watch support 316 and 314.37. And if that gives up, it's going to come down here again, 310.50. And if that breaks, it's all over. You're going to see a lot more selling all the way down to flat 300. But I don't think that's the case next week. Microsoft can hold above right here, 314.37, and can stay above these levels right here, 316. Also, you're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 320.45 and possibly up to even 326 to 327 to retest all these moving averages right here. Now above 327.33, you're going to see even bigger move on Microsoft all the way up to 330. And once we break out of this downtrend, guys, it's heading higher to this gap, 345.07, and that could be a huge move on Microsoft. But this support needs to hold Monday, especially right here, 314.37 and right here, 316. And only if that holds, you're going to see more upside. If not, we're coming right back down to 310.50 and possibly going even lower. On Amazon stock, it's up 0.90%, and Amazon getting up to 129.15 and then gave away all the gains, came down to 126, holding that as a support. Pretty much the same kind of move we got on Apple, but it's holding this support right here, 126. And as long as we're above 126, we could see Amazon going back up to 130. And 130 breaks on Amazon. The next stop, you're going to see Amazon filling this gap right here on top, just above 135. Now Amazon gives up the support 126. The next stop down here to this lower Bollinger Band, 122.68, and then 118. On Google, stock is down 0.96%, and exactly like I said in my last video, Google can go up to this gap, and then we could see a rejection from there, and this is exactly what we got. And now we got all these moving averages right here, guys. 20-day and 13-day sitting close to 135, so that's gonna be a big resistance to break on Google. So far, it's holding above 130, a key level of support on Google, and it's below 50-day moving average right here, and that is sitting around 132.22. So Monday morning, you want to watch 130 as a support on Google stock, and to the upside, it needs to get above 50-day moving average right here, 132.22, and only if that happens, you're going to see again Google stock going up and retesting this big resistance on top, 135. Google breaks below 130. Now we have lower Bollinger Band as a support, 129, and then the gap below 123.69. On Tesla, stock is up 1.56%, and we got a doji indecision candle here on Tesla. We also got, I think, tomorrow delivery numbers on Tesla. So Tesla could be rallying Monday depending on that delivery number that we get from Tesla. So Tesla here, guys, it's looking good. I mean, yes, it came down quite a bit from the top once again, and now it's going back up. So I think if Tesla rallies Monday, and if this thing can actually break above right here, 50-day moving average right here, 251.23, the next stop, 257, white line 20 SMA, and then the gap above 262.46. Now Tesla cannot break 251, right here, 251.23. Then watch out for the support down here, 245.64, and if that gives up down here between 240 to 241, that is a strong support on Tesla. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow, and especially those weekly expected moves are coming tonight, if not early tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. I'll be posting those expected moves on various products like Apple, SPY, Microsoft, and Nvda and all that. Now also the Meta play right here, one of the best play we got on Friday. Look at the timing, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Meta was trading above 310, and that's where I actually shorted Meta, and you can see what happened after that. It's trading at 300. Now I do post one or two plays from my multiple setups that I got, right here on X. So you can see, like once you join the Patreon, what you're going to get. Now also tomorrow, first of the month, and that's how my Patreon works. If you're serious about trading and you want to learn, definitely you want to support the channel, the work I do. Tomorrow, first of the month, check out the link below down in my description for Patreon, and that's the only way you can support the channel, and you can also access all these trade ideas daily, and then my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, Monday through Wednesday. If you're interested, definitely check it out, guys. On Meta, it's down 1.23%, and this is exactly where I got in here on Meta, 310.25, 300 puts. You guys saw it, exploded. I mean, this thing came off $10. As a matter of fact, 11, 299.36, and now trading at 300. One of the best setup that we got last week, shorting Meta on Friday. Now, if you look at my screen, again, I mean, this thing, it's just shopping all over the place. If you have a small account, I would not recommend to buy options on Meta unless you want to. I mean, look at this shop, 286, almost 311, now 300, and who knows where Meta could be going into next week on Monday. But it's holding 300, so I would say watch out for the support down here at 300, and if that holds, you're going to see a move back up to the upside, 305 up to 309, and slightly going higher just like we saw on Friday, to 311 to 312 right here. To the downside, Meta breaks below 300. That's going to be a big breakdown on Meta, and that should take Meta down to 293.28 and then 290. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.